Hey guys, welcome back. Korn Reviews. Today we're going to review Korn. This is 2000, the year 2000, just a year after Woodstock 99 in Nuremberg, Germany at the Rock at the Ring Festival, Rock am Ring, something like that. Something in German that I don't know. Okay, this video's got the little titles for us. That's cool. Definitely a different style of footage than our last couple of videos. This is more stylized, more, got different kinds of cameras working. I kind of like this vibe to it. It's definitely a little more artistic than your typical, big wide shots that you get from up high, in some of these other videos. Jonathan has begun his transformation into the King of Darkness here. He's no longer wearing his jumpsuit. He has now moved on to just a full-on black tunic, cloak, wizard type thing. Oh, this is that video. Okay. Ooh. I know I got this requested as a video, and I want to go ahead and address this right off. This is one of probably the first concerts they ever played without David Silveri. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I know that around this time you see him start to disappear, and he shows up later. Sometimes he's in, sometimes he's out, but this guy that they got to replace him, I don't know his name, but well, he really struggles, and I don't know if he was a quick fix replacement. I don't want to place too much judgment on him because he's clearly banging out the songs, but you can hear some sort of fuck ups and him struggling a little bit, especially on the earlier songs. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it a little bit. I don't want to be disrespectful to that guy because he's doing his best out there, but he definitely struggles. So okay, Fieldy's rocking a new look. He's got now the braids. He grew those fast. I don't know. I've never grown my hair out that long. I think that, a year was not even enough time to do it. Fieldy just has magical, Rapunzel-like hair that grows super quick and forms into braids. All their hair forms into braids. They can't help it. So yeah, German audience, a little different vibe, I guess. I don't know, still a bunch of kids rocking out. Fieldy kind of actually looks like a pirate. He's got the bandana, he's got the earrings now. He never really had the piercings. He had earrings, but it looks like he maybe got some other piercings or something. Fieldy playing, looks like a different bass. He's not playing that sort of reddish brown one that he plays in some of the earlier videos. That guitar looks familiar. Monkey looking very angry at something. Maybe it's just hot. He's kind of the quiet one, he talks, but he just kind of plays his guitar. Screen went black. Deutsche Telekom Birkenwerder. I don't know what that means. I shouldn't probably do an offensive German accent, but sorry, I couldn't help it. I can help it. I'll do better next time. Okay, so we got Make Me Bad. This is Issues. This is kind of right around probably the Issues time. It's maybe an Issues tour type thing. I personally love Issues, which we've talked about. And look how long Fieldy's hair is in other videos, but I do think it's one of their best albums, especially musically. It's more, it's more grown up, it's more sophisticated, it's more even-handed. As far as you take the first two albums, that's Korn is this thrashy, crazy quasi-metal band. They're doing their own thing, but you could kind of call it metal. And then I feel like the third album is where we hear Korn kind of being Korn, where they've fully developed their sound. And then Issues, I think, is just like the perfection of that sound, where it's poppy, it's heavy, he's screaming, they're playing the big old chords, they're doing all that normal stuff, but yeah, so I mean, it's unfortunate that the drummer is not here. I think they definitely suffer for that. You'll hear when we play It's On later, they go at a completely wrong speed, and it kind of messes up the groove, but you know. He just kind of looks high. He always looks high. Yeah, they definitely write some cool chords in this album. Like some cool chord progressions and cool like riffs on the 7-string. It's very melodic. Which Korn is always melodic. Like, I don't want to play like the first 2 albums aren't melodic. They're just not as melodic. I mean, once you're like, I don't know. I wonder what the pressure is. You know, Freak on a Leash is kind of about the pressure of recording albums and sounding a certain way and acting a certain way. And, you know, I think, you know, everybody has to make a decision, like, am I going to succumb to this pressure, or am I going to kind of stay true to myself? And I don't know what Korn chose. Maybe they kind of succumbed to the pressure a little bit and kind of just, or maybe they just decided to coast, which is what a lot of people do. You know, it's not like somebody got to them. It's like, you know, you put out the 4 or 5 albums and that's all you got. And everything else you put out is just kind of, you know, subpar. It's okay, but it's, you know, disappointing. I do love these old concerts because, you know, you get to see how people kind of dress and how their hairstyles were. Obviously, Korn was like an extreme example with all their crazy hair. You know, when you don't have to have a 9-to-5 job, Korn, you can wear your hair like that, okay? Old head alert. So yeah, much calmer audience, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe you just can't see them as well, but I imagine the Germans are very polite. Oh, there's the middle fingers and the devil horns. You know, in that Woodstock 99 documentary, they talk about how everybody hated MTV. All the Korn fans and Limp Bizkit fans hated MTV at that point, but I don't know how accurate that is. Ooh, this is another one of my favorite Korn jams right here. Somebody, Someone has some amazing riffs. Amazing riffs. Yeah, you hear the drummer is not playing what is on the album. Yeah, I love this track. Can't get enough of this. Classic Korn chorus. Big chunky riff. Weird chords that you wouldn't normally think of. Somehow it's weirdly melodic, but simple, catchy. Yeah, this guy was not the guy. Maybe dude couldn't go to Europe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying not to make assumptions because again, I'm not a Korn expert. I am not a Korn historian or a Kornographer or anything like that. So I'm just going off of pure intuition and the little research I've done. I'm sure people will tell me everything I say is wrong, but that's just kind of how it goes. I'm sure some things that I say are wrong and a lot of things I say are right. So, Monkey's got that blue guitar that I like out. I think it's the one with the puppy paws. It's badass. These shots of them. See, the cool thing about the American ones is that you can actually see what the fuck is going on. These camera guys are going a little crazy with the tilts or whatever the pans. Panning too hard, man. Right here. That's that riff. That's that fucking riff right there. Head just absolutely screaming his head off. Yeah, he does really good background vocals. I feel like he really brings it. You know, you want a background vocalist to take it as seriously as you do, and Jonathan does take his vocals very seriously. You can tell, and head. Here we go. It's on right, and you'll hear they're not playing at the right speed. Something's off. It's not quite up to the perfection of some other Korn concerts. You know, I know I've had drummers where I've played with them for years, and I don't know, playing without them would be weird. Having somebody take the place of somebody, you know, it's never ideal. You know, it's never ideal because that original person and your relationship with them, you know, has so much of an influence on how the band pans out. And if you spend those years cultivating a sound together and a shorthand and a way to play and practice and perform, you know, the loss of somebody in a band can be devastating. You know, you can break up because of one person leaving. But Korn did not break up, for better or worse. But I'm glad Korn's still around. I'm glad I can go see Korn, you know, whenever I want to. I don't think they're coming down to Tennessee. They all just got COVID this past year. And Jonathan was performing from his, you know, big throne that I think it's the same throne from MTV Unplugged, the infamous MTV Unplugged video, which I think is probably the most embarrassing Korn video. And this is coming from a guy who really likes the band. But you gotta call a spade a spade. So jealous of that guitar. See that security guard? He's like lifting up a 22-year-old man. It's like, oh my god, your job is so hard. Some man baby. Kids going nuts, though. They were a huge, absolutely enormous band at this time. I mean, just the peak of their career. You couldn't get any bigger than this. I mean, playing in front of this many people every night, you know, you're like freaking Lady Gaga at that point, you know? I mean, not necessarily Lady Gaga, but, you know, I'm trying to think of an equivalent, but like, you know, at the time, they were selling as many records as, like, the Backstreet Boys. You know, because that was what it was all about back then. Selling records, selling CDs. Because, you know, back then everything was CDs. Little, little paper inserts with all the lyrics. And then, you know, back in the early 90s, there were cassette tapes and shit like that. But, like, look at how far Korn's come. I did notice the drummer is more solid on the songs from Issues. So it's like he's learned the newest songs, and now he's trying to learn those back catalog songs that they pull out all the time, like Blind, for instance. I feel like I've listened to this song about 1,000,000 times by now. That's okay. It's a good song. Bucket hat. Motherfucker's got a bucket hat on. Guy's got a beanie on. Like, this was the style, man. He had a bucket hat, a little alien. This is the time of the X-Files. Oh, yeah, tell him, Jonathan. Tell him to get the fuck up. You know, that's the thing. Korn doesn't tell you to get the fuck up. I mean, they do sometimes, but they don't have to tell you. The music speaks for itself. And that is, I'm not trying to dig on Limp Bizkit, but Fred Durst in these videos, he does have to ask them to get the fuck up quite a bit. And it works, and he gets the crowd going nuts. Absolutely nuts. But I feel like Korn does the same thing without having to coax, without having to, you know, beg. Not trying to hate on Fred Durst at all. Just saying they got that vibe where, you know, they just get people on their feet. Like, and I mean, you can be so critical of this band, but have you ever played in front of that many people? Have you ever, like, accomplished this much in music where, you know, even if you hate the band, I mean, people love this band. People go crazy for this band. Even now, 30 fucking years down the road from their beginning almost. You know, what are they, around early 90s? 94 is their first album. It's 2021. I mean, been around for a long time. Long, storied career. And, you know, they're all parents. Some of them probably getting close to being fucking grandparents now. But they're still out there rocking, you know? So it's like, you know, if you're a aging rocker like me, don't give up. You can be rocking in your 50s. I think it's my favorite part of the song. Jonathan almost does like a rap thing. How deep could I go? Yeah, it's really good. This is like classic Korn riff. This is like the most classic Korn song. It'd be cool if they did a remaster of the first album. That'd be awesome. Because I love all the remasters of, like, the Nirvana stuff. Like, there's a remaster of Bleach that's really good. I mean, it makes everything sound really clear, clean and crisp, but less 90s and more, you know, modern. And people hate that and say it's horrible, but I don't know. I think I'm all about fidelity and playing with that stuff. Check this out. Don't say that, Jonathan. Oh, Freak on a Leash. I've heard this song before. They might go into twist though. Sometimes they stop the song right there and they go into twist. It's sort of cool, like juke, doing the juke. But no, I remember at this concert they do We do Freak on a Leash. I think they close with it. They might close with something else. I can't really tell. You know what more can be said about this song? I mean, it's really truly one of the greatest songs of the late '90s, and one of the greatest songs of, you know, that time period, and maybe one of the greatest songs ever. I mean, it's like, it's just a timeless track. Like, you could listen to this and be like, oh, it's a cool rock song, or you could listen to this and be like, this is the best Korn song ever, or you could listen to this and be like, well, I don't listen to this kind of music, but this is cool, you know, like, this is catchy enough, like, I like it. Hitting those big low notes, totally out of tune. That's okay. They're rocking. Just having those people go crazy for you, you know, like Jonathan talks a lot about release and like using music as a release, and like he talks about it in his songs even, and how music is like this release for him, and I think that he does, like, you know, want to give that experience to all the people that like his music, because, you know, he is a very like open book kind of musician. He really tells you exactly how he feels about everything, and he doesn't try to be mysterious about it. Like, I think he wants to open up, and oh, this motherfucker with a JanSport backpack. Anyway, I think Jonathan wants to open up and show people his heart, and I think that's a really cool thing. You know, it's not every musician does that, and but the really good ones do. You know, even if you don't like Jonathan's you know, vocal stylings, which I know a lot of people don't, and that's fine. You gotta give it to his heart, you know. He really has, you know, opened his heart up to people and shown them, you know, a new way to listen to music, and a new vibe, a new song structure, maybe a new, you know, lyrical idea, or a new way to scat. They have these, you know, parts, these vocal parts, they're like triggers to these big riffs, and that's always a fun thing about Korn, because it's just like, it's just a great live thing. Like, if you're a kid, like, listening, and you hear Jonathan Davis go, you're gonna, like, go nuts, because he's telling you to go nuts. And it's funny, it's like these bands gave these kids a license to go crazy and jump around, and kids need that, man. Like, everybody needs that. Everybody needs that cathartic experience. Filmed live on location at Rock am Ring, June 2000. Jonathan Davis, David Silvera, nope. Brian Welch. Yeah, and then we got all of our filmographers. So yeah, they probably played another song, but they didn't film it. They were just like, oh, we're done with you, Korn. I really don't know. I mean, Freak on a Leash is great, but I don't know if it's a great closer. It's a great middle of the set song, in my opinion. Korn can do whatever they want. 20 years ago. Or whatever.